Greetings and salutations to all you wonderful people. I'm Jacob Greason, editor-in-chief and founder of The Groggy Donkey. Here at The Groggy Donkey, we are loosely based on 5th edition, but no one is perfect, and we are no exception. Our DM is new to DMing, so if she doesn't get something right, don't fret. It could be on purpose, as we sometimes choose the rule of cool. But we promise there is a madness to our method. Thank you again, and raise your tankards with us as we indulge in another round here at the Groggy Donkey.
In a tavern not so far away, called the Groggy Donkey, 4 friends met one fateful day. What will the dungeon master say? With spores to spread, an elf of wisdom, but he gives dread. With foul revenge ignite, his fight has no end in sight. A Dino with armor so bright, elf paladin fighting the fight. Devotion guiding his mighty lance, showing his enemies their last dance. Oh, the Groggy Donkey calls us home, where the adventurer's spirit roam. From the shadows to the dawn, our bond is never gone. Rooney's waters dark and deep, a Genesee death cleric's creed. Silently she will chant her song to guide all the lost souls along. Find the bugbear with a past, criminal life left so fast. Strong and cunning by our side, society's rules he won't abide. Together they're unstoppable, in forest deep or high. From dungeons dark and cruel, their spirits touch the sky. Oh, the Groggy Donkey calls us home, where the adventurer's spirit roams. From the shadows to the dawn, our bond is never gone. Adventurers ahead, fire in their eyes, braving every storm under endless skies. Together they stand, never back down, for hearts now beat one sound. Adventurers ahead, fire in their eyes, braving every storm under endless skies. Together they stand, never back down, for hearts now beating one sound.
All right, welcome to the Groggy Donkey. I'm Jacob Greason, the founder of the Groggy Donkey, and I've got with me our DM here, Talia.
Hello.
And we're just going to talk a little bit about the upcoming, I should say the Now podcast and the upcoming episode that you are about to hear. Myself and Talia and the other players that are going to be joining us for this episode have already been playing the game with these characters that you are about to enjoy for a couple of months now. And the reason why we did this was to familiarize ourselves with the game, for Talia to get into the swing of being a DM and writing campaigns and stories.
Sometimes it's a bit difficult. It's pretty tough sometimes because it's Jacob's world that he created, and I'm constantly having to text him or call him or something, be like, hey, what's this? Who's this person? Where does this go? How far distance is this? So it's a very great team effort between the two of us to write these campaigns.
We are all family in some aspect, whether it's siblings or friends that we've known for 13, 14 years that are basically family, relationships, and they are siblings as well. We're all a family, and we're really tight-knit. And this was a dream of mine that they helped bring about through their efforts and their hard work.
It's been really incredible to get everybody on board, especially with scheduling and stuff like that.
Everybody knows that scheduling conflicts are probably the number one killer of any D&D campaign, and we are no stranger to that same struggle. But as I've said before in the initial intro that you're always going to hear, we are loosely based on 5th edition. But all you rules lawyers out there, don't judge us too hard, as we sometimes do choose that rule of cool. If it fits the moment, to kind of bend things a little bit, or to let a player have their moment. If it just makes sense, sometimes we bend things just for our enjoyment, but also for your own enjoyment.
Yeah, and it's good for the players and even the listeners to hear that kind of creative overlay, that the creativity that each player can bring to the table. Each one is so individual and has so many unique ideas that sometimes I'm like, I have to refrain myself from handing out inspiration die, because it's like they have good ideas like all the time. So
we hope that you enjoy, and we hope that you spread the word about us to all of your nerdy friends out there.
Yes,
and
please.
Let them know that we exist and we are here to entertain.
Yeah, because it's your support that will help us make more of these episodes.
We can't do what we do without you.
Exactly.
All right, with that, let's jump in to today's episode. All right.
Now you have to do it.
Welcome to the Groggy Donkey, a podcast where we play TTRPGs and have fun together.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. And as we say in our little intro blurb, it is very, 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 very loosely based on the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition.
Yes. I'm Jacob Greason. I play Ariok Autumn Breeze. I am an elf druid. And, Ariok is... his background is soldier. So he started out his life and his career as a member of the Elven army. He and his brother both did that, and his life took a very dark turn when he met a sorceress by the name of Tracy. And after his entire battalion was slaughtered, that's when he became a druid. He was met by the god Caractacus, which is the god of nature, and he started a different path in his life. And now he is out for some semblance of revenge for the fallen.
Cool. Adina, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. So, hi everyone. I'm JJ. I play Adino, brother to Ariok. Very similar upbringing, military training. I chose to go to the path of the Dark Paladin, following the betrayal of Tracy and then the slaughter of both of our companies. My character chose to go hide away in the mountains, a mountaintop temple, for a period of several years, learning how to be an acolyte, how to be a paladin, and dedicating himself to learning all he could about Obitus. And he came to find a ancient talisman depicting an evil that had spread across the land, and he made it his life's purpose to track down what appeared to be several locations with these talismans spread across the world. So,
Cool. Bernie?
My name's Kristen. I play Rooney. I am a moody, teenage brooding Air Genasi cleric of the Death Domain. I worship Libathina, who is the goddess of the underworld, per se. She kind of helps guide souls through the underworld and keeps the balance between good and evil. So that's what Rooney's all about, is trying to create that balance and getting rid of those who disturb that balance.
Awesome.
Grime.
Hello, I'm Brian, and I play Grime. Grime is a bugbear criminal who focused more on smuggling people out of a crime city of Crossgate. And he spent a lot of his life doing this until eventually his master, who trained him, passed away. And he didn't see any point to stick around, so he just left the city and is just wandering.
Lovely. And I'm Talia. I am the game master. I am running everything, keeping these guys in check and making sure that the rules are followed to a point. As you will hear, some of the rules will be broken, or we'll make some up as we go along. This is what keeps the fun. I'm also going to do my best to be all the voices of the NPCs. I know we have a couple of voices planned that we're going to try to get voicing some NPCs, but we'll see how that works out. It may be just us goofing around and doing our own silly voices. And I'm also working with Jacob on building the world. There's still things that need to be done. There's lots of world building that needs to be left done. We have several of the things that we've made up have been the gods and goddesses that some of the players follow. And the making up and tying some of these backstories into the story. It's a semi-established story that Jacob wrote in high school, and it's been a really, really fun time to take his story and kind of I wouldn't say rewrite it, but work it into something that can be acted out. It's definitely been a challenge. He has an immense imagination, and I don't think mine can come even close. So there'll be some times where I will be checking some things in the books, or I'll be stopping and asking him questions and be like, hey, what is this again? So flipping through my notes, you're going to hear a lot of paper from me being flipped around and stuff like that.
One of the keys to creating a cohesive story is having a world and a history. The setting is super important. You always hear the saying location, location, location. So the location of our world takes place on a planet called Yabalsh, and the main continent in the story, and probably also in this campaign setting, is going to be Yorkon and Wargix. With that, Talia was talking about making things cohesive and making sure everything lines up. There's a history to the world, and there are events that happened and that are going to take place, and making sure that everything lines up within that lore. It takes a lot of planning, and of course, me not knowing what's going to happen in the campaign. So I'm left in the dark, but also
You got some insight on the world.
yeah, some insight on the world, especially when questions get asked about certain things.
Yeah. So, are we finished with introductions? Is everybody all set? Anything else you want to say before we wrap this up?
No, I think I'm good on my end.
Cool. Well, awesome. So, thank you for joining us on this episode 0. And we hope to see you back for another round of the Groggy Donkey.
Absolutely.
Oh, the groggy donkey calls us home.
Let's talk about the story thus far. Our story takes place on the planet Yabalsh, in the country of Wargix. Now, Yabalsh was created by the god Tiberius, and after several centuries of this planet being created, the dark god Quirm corrupted magic, and when this happened, the world entered a dark age. Our story takes place during this dark age, also known as the Second Era. They met on an island west of Wargigs. Ariok and Adino were there following a lead that a sorceress by the name of Tracy might possibly be there, or there would be some connection to her. To their dismay, they found none, but what they did find was an Air Genasi cleric by the name of Rooney, who was there doing a little, let's say, archaeological work, digging up bones, dragon bones to be specific, and hunting down some answers to her own tragic past. After dealing with the threat of a dragon on that island, the three sailed back to Wargix, to the city of Liran, the capital. In Liran, they bedded down for the night in a tavern called the Groggy Donkey. And as they lay sleeping, someone stole into their room to spy on them. Ariok was awakened in the middle of the night and gave chase, calling out to his compatriots before he exited the window, and they followed. They found this person going into an old warehouse, and they followed this individual into the warehouse, where a bit of a struggle ensued. The person was captured, and the person turned out to be an acolyte of the sorceress Tracy. Tracy left a message for Ariok and Adino that she would be where fire and water met. Now, Adino thought it would be this waterfall that was north of a town called Hillgrove. But Ariok and Adino, not wanting to be ones to just rush into a trap, decided to spend a couple of days prior to leaving for this location. They had some errands to run. Rooney wanted to do some research about her deity and her beliefs in the library. They made their way there at the College of Magic in Liran. And Adino had some self-study to do as well, as he was looking for some scrolls. It wasn't a problem to get any of this done, though they did have to sign Adino up for classes there at the College of Magic. Despite his lack of common, the adventurers set out, headed north, and they made it to the city, or the town, of Hillgrove. Hillgrove was plagued by nightmares, and the three went into a cave where they had, well, two of them had visions. Adino had a vision, and Rooney had a vision, both receiving some answer, some guidance, some, let's call it, or to the waterfall. And when they came upon the waterfall, it was surrounded by bandits. They decided to dispatch with the bandits before entering a cave behind the waterfall. As they were battling these bandits, a mysterious figure kept appearing, and Ariok was very confused every time he caught a glimpse. Once he saw this individual race across the battlefield and steal the glaive of the bandit chief. And when he told his fellow adventurers about this bugbear, they didn't believe him. Of course, they didn't see him. And Ariok sounded like a madman. This bugbear went into the cave and found a letter that was left by Tracy. And when Ariok went into the cave, the bugbear sneakily put this letter into his pouch on his belt, but the two made eye contact. Still, Adino and Rooney did not believe Ariok when he said that there was a bugbear. Tracy's letter was very cutthroat, as she was playing a game of cat and mouse with the twins. She was not there, which wasn't a surprise to Ariok or Adino. But now they must find her in the longest city in Yorkon, wherever that may be. And maybe, just maybe, this mysterious bugbear will join them, or he'll continue to steal things from them without them ever noticing that he was there. That's all the time that we have for today, but we hope that you stick around to hear what comes next on the Groggy Donkey. Thank you, have an awesome day, and we look forward to seeing you again.